And if you're tuning in now, you're hearing our smuggling operation. I mean, smuggling operation. Ideas.
Of government cheese.
How are you guys?
It's all stabilized shit cheese.
Listen, leave Kraft out of your mouth.
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Good.
I don't know what Casey's setting up.
He's getting his doohickey majigger over there working.
I am really excited.
For tomorrow to be over.
Yeah.
I'm
For my YouTube feed to not be 99% election content. Like 32 different people reading polls differently. Like, I'm just so done with it.
presidential harassment. That's what that is.
It is. It's presidential harassment.
So, as you guys know, I went to Six Flags for.
Yeah, what is the actual name of this? Because I've called it like 9 different things.
So it's in Vallejo. It's Six Flags Discovery Kingdom.
No. The event, not the park.
Oh, it's Fright Night at Six Flags.
Is it actually
Discovery
Fright
Kingdom.
Night?
It's one of them, yeah.
So I got it right at least once.
Correct.
Okay.
But we were out there, and about.
Isn't it called Fright Fest?
It's
How
whatever.
come I sound like I'm down a hallway and you guys sound fine?
You are.
Do you sound down the hallway?
I'm talking into the top of the microphone.
I think you got
I think
it.
it gets worse if you talk to the side. It gets worse over here. I don't know. It sounds pretty good.
It doesn't sound bad right now.
All right,
I
fine.
don't know.
Mine's better, Mike. I don't know.
Kevin's mic sucks.
It's better than yours. We use it for everything else now.
Yeah, it's because it picks up everything else.
Exactly.
So that doesn't make it better.
It works so much better. Anyways, getting past Gimpy over there.
Who?
You.
Why am I gimpy?
Because you gimped in a year ago,
Yeah.
and now you're back. And then you gimped in a week ago.
Oh, God.
Oh, did you fail a cut?
Yeah. We're going to try it. We'll see if it smokes.
Hopefully it does. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So about 2 hours in, it starts to downpour and piss all over us. And it just starts raining the whole time we're there. That did not stop us. We went on a couple of
Nope.
roller coasters.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Not too bad. It was already on me. I don't even have to change it. But yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't as scary as everybody like they made it out to be. Like Fright Fest, like you think of Knott's Berry Farm, Fright Night, or whatever they call it down there. And they have commercials where there's people running around scaring people. They had a couple people here, and they're like, "Oh, you got to make sure you're over a certain age. Kids can't go because they'll be too scared." And I'm going through, and people are doing those stupid jump scares.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just walking through. I'm like, there's nothing scary there. That was sad. The best thing there was the jacket that I got that you saw. Lane didn't see it, though. It was a nice jacket. Nice Letterman. Never had one.
You bought a Leatherman jacket? A Letterman jacket?
I did. It was, the back looked nice. It had a little patch on the front, but I've never had a Letterman jacket. So I'm like, I'll
I
get
never
one.
have either.
I was never on football team, so that's probably why.
Hey, it's technically a varsity sport.
Well, isn't
Any varsity sport. Yeah.
Yeah, any varsity sport.
wait, did
Because you put
rifle
you put-
count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never got one for that.
Yeah, I have 4 varsity letters technically.
Oh, nice. Look at you all fancy over there with your 4 varsity letters.
Yes, I can happily say I was on varsity all 4 years.
Nice.
It's my one claim to fame.
I came into the show a little late, so I was only on it for 2 years and didn't get any of that. I think my school was just poor.
What school did you go to?
Douglas.
Yeah, no, they had a team.
I know.
Shit,
I know.
it sucked.
Hey,
Wait, also rifle?
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh,
They
God.
sucked.
they kind of did, somewhat. It was that first year that we did was the first time that we were in a part of any of the rifle team stuff
Yeah,
where we actually got it going.
see, they sucked.
Yeah, we weren't that bad.
Brave talk coming from someone with your pistol skills.
That is true.
It's a varsity rifle competition.
Oh, and
There's no pistol skills. It's
let's.
rifle.
You know what? You do have a rifle competition, but when was the last time you took your rifle out? Oh, quiet.
I don't know, about a year ago,
More than a year
More
ago?
than a year ago.
probably.
So I've taken mine out more recent than you. I don't know who sucks more.
You?
Nah. But anyways, like I said, it was just downpouring, and then coming back up, it started snowing. And I was watching people go off the side and just like spinning out and just puttering along. I'm like, why don't they know how to put it in manual
The
mode?
pictures from 80 were amazing.
Right?
People getting squirrely.
It's 80.
It's fun to watch, though.
Everyone gets squirrely on 80.
They didn't know it was time to slow down yet. What are you guys smoking? Who's even watching right now? No one is Christian on yet? I don't want to taste the bourbon until Christian's here.
I haven't seen anybody else.
Because the
on yet.
first one is his.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Number one is his.
So who's going to win tomorrow?
See how quiet
Predictions?
I got.
America.
Well,
There's literally no chance that happens.
it's showing Kamala 49% or 48% and Trump at 46.
Whose poll is that? First of all, it's a national poll.
Yeah.
Whose poll is that?
The one that I saw was CSNBC or something like that.
MSNBC?
That one.
Yeah. There's no way they couldn't in good conscience put Trump ahead in the national on the most left-leaning channel.
Fair. I just went across and saw it and like, I'll click on this, see what they say.
They're pretty lefty. So
I try to avoid all of them.
I just want to see what
Even
was
the
going on.
typically independent people are afraid of making the wrong call, so they're saying silly shit. It's kooky. And then the left is predicting the left and the right is predicting the right.
Yeah.
Either way, America loses.
are we allowed to sports bet for the election?
Yeah.
Is there some
Yeah.
books going right now? Sweet.
What's the over under?
I don't
do
know
you
if you
have to-
can bet turnout.
Like, can you bet for like electoral college points? And
Probably. You can probably bet
like swing
like
states?
you could probably bet vote difference.
There you go. Swing
Like
states.
+3, -2. Yeah, you could probably get those odds.
I think that's the best way to deal with this at this point because then at least somewhat you might get some money. Mind
So
you,
who
if
are you
don't.
guys betting? You're betting Harris, it sounds like.
I'm not. I was just telling you the polls.
Yeah.
I don't like either, but
No. This is not who you like. It's
I'm
about
ho-
who you're betting on.
I'm betting on Trump more than likely.
Like, if you had to go put $1,000 down, where are you putting it?
I'll put it on Trump.
Okay.
Yeah. Is he the underdog?
It depends on who you ask.
Would you say?
Fair.
I don't know. So here's the problem with the polls. 16 and 20, Trump overperformed the polls by substantial amounts. Like 7 to 10 points across the board, like varied by state. Even when he lost in 20, he outperformed the polls substantially. I mean, there were places where they were predicting Biden by 10%, and he won by like 10,000 votes, which is, fractions of a percent. And then 22, the Democrats in all the special elections outperformed their polls substantially. So is it like, have we turned the corner and everyone's betting on Roe, or everyone's voting on Roe? Or is it because Trump wasn't in the election and the Republicans just weren't as motivated? So you don't know. Like, it's kind of a crapshoot.
Well, my thought is right now, they've already had some years with Kamala. And I mean, with Biden the way he is, you don't know how much of that he was actually president for, in his mind, at least.
I don't remember who I was talking to, but this is how I put it to him. I don't like either of them, clearly. I think Trump, if only by accident, has policies that are less likely to destroy this country. It's like, I don't know that he crafted these things intentionally. I think he just stumbled into them. But
I do have one question. That Project 25 that they keep saying he's doing,
yeah, he
I don't
didn't
even
do
know
it.
what that is.
It's a governance man. It's a 900-page governance manual that was put out by, I believe, the Heritage Foundation. Trump is like, the Heritage Foundation is tied to the Republican Party. Like, there's a relationship there. But when was the last time Trump had a relationship of general or collegial discourse with anybody? Like, he didn't put that together.
No.
He's never read it.
Why?
When do we think the last time Trump read 900 pages was?
Listen, did you read it?
Probably the last time that Harris read 900
My
pages.
question is, did you read it?
No, I have no interest in
Okay,
it.
so
I'm
if
sure
I
he got the
know
Cliff Notes.
that somebody like you didn't read it, there's a solid chance he never even touched that book or whatever it
He
is.
paid somebody to read
The
it. though.
first time it came up, he'd never even heard of it, I bet. And if he had heard of it, he had never physically held it or accessed it on a computer.
He's like, nah, I'm good. That's too much reading.
Yeah. It's because Trump is not a Republican. Trump is a Trumpican.
Trump's what?
He's a
Just
businessman.
him. Yeah.
What's that?
He's a businessman.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't give Harris any more credit than I give Trump. But it is what it is. I'm just excited. Like, listen, let's figure out what mess we're cleaning up tomorrow and go from there.
Fair point. There's a Simpsons. I think it's the movie. You've seen it, Casey, right? Simpsons movie.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that one governor. I was elected to lead, not to read.
That's right.
Oh God.
That's all I think about when I think of Trump. I was elected to lead, not to read.
That said, if I had to put money on it, I'm betting on Trump.
I mean, at this point, we've had the 4 years with Biden.
To
and
me, on the numbers, it seems it's not about who outperformed whatever. This is
Yeah.
just as a betting proposition, right? These are two teams I don't like, but it feels like Trump has a slightly better chance. It's a slightly better value proposition as a betting on Trump than Harris, especially as they've brought all the polls back so they don't look like idiots. The betting market has given, like, you're getting better odds with Trump than you were, say, 3 weeks ago. But I don't believe that the way people are deciding has changed. I just think they've accessed different people or they've hedged their bets by loading their polls a little bit. So I think you're getting a better value proposition betting Trump. That said, I don't know what the markets are. I would call it, like, if I had to put numbers to it, if I was making book, I'd call it 60-40. You know, you're talking about like
I was thinking
like minus 180.
those are good numbers right there.
Solid numbers.
Right?
Solid numbers.
Christian, how you doing?
Christian, we were waiting for you, man. Number one up is the Triple Oak from Angel's Envy. We are going to, so we've decided, it's kind of random this week if you look at the bottles on Kevin's table. Little random. Because that Michter's Toasted is going away fast. I want to get it on the show. And Kevin brought back the Garrison Brothers from his trip. But in 2 weeks, next week we're doing Rise. In 2 weeks, we're going to put the Angel's Envy Triple Oak against the Peerless Double Oak. And we're going to get a bottle of Old Forester 1910, which is also a double barrel to double oak. So we're going to do a little double triple oak head to head.
Should be fun.
I think it's going to be between, so I haven't tried the Angel's Envy yet. I smelled it. The nose on it is fantastic. I like it.
He said no neck pores.
Yeah. So the Angel's Envy's been open since I got it. I left it open so that we could get some air into it. I think the Peerless is going to get crushed. I think it's going to come down to the Angel's Envy and the Old Forester, which are about the same price, maybe $10 different.
I keep flashing back over here and realizing that those ones aren't there except for the Angel's Envy.
And the Peerless at $130 or whatever is going to get smoked, I'm pretty sure. Just crushed.
So which one?
The Peerless Double Oak.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it's
2
a-
weeks
it's a
from
good
now.
drink.
Yeah. Anyways, we have what? Angel's Envy, Michter's. Which one's this one?
That's the Michter's.
Michter's what?
Toasted.
Toasted. And then Garrison Brothers.
There is one of the oaks. It's probably the what is the Peregrine? Peregrine?
I have no idea.
Pegarini? I don't know.
Peregrino.
It's the third wood in the triple oak. Stands out a lot. There's like I don't know what the note is.
And wait, we established that Garrison Brothers is not the one that the convention said was the #1 whiskey in the world.
No, but you have to say that's just Vegas. That same competition in San Francisco
gonna
named the
say-
Peerless High Rye the #1 bourbon in the world.
Oh, well, they're both wrong. Basically, is what you're saying.
There's a note in there I can't identify. I mean, all the other notes are there, but there's one note. But it's got to be that third oak.
Bardstown Fusion triple would be a interesting comparison, says Christian.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it around here.
I mean, there's a good collection of Bardstown at Galena, but
Yeah,
I
and
don't
he's
think
got
that
one of the
is-
fusions, but it's not that
It's
one.
not that one, yeah.
No. Well, what's the verdict, Kevin? You tried it. Give us notes, man.
This is number one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that note's on the palate too. What is that?
Ooh,
It's gonna come to me.
smells better out of the glass than it did in the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can honestly say I'm not an Angel's Envy guy.
So this isn't regular Angel's Envy. This isn't.
I know it's their.
It's not port finished. I'm pretty sure. 99% sure.
He's just being snobbish.
I
He
am.
is
I
snobbish.
am.
I cannot do Angel's Envy.
Listen, we've had it a couple of times.
It's just
there's
not
one that I
my cup of whiskey.
there's one that I liked that was okay.
Yeah, it was the cast strength.
Yeah. But
It's $250 a bottle.
I know. I'm bougie. I'm a bougie alcoholic. Government issued.
He's like, it was okay, $250. You're like, I had one of the managers from here years ago. We went on a wine tasting thing, like a buyer's trip. And you couldn't show her the price list before she tasted. Because if you did, she was just automatically going to say the most expensive one was the best one. Meanwhile, I'm like, you don't have to say that. We're not paying for anything here. This is all because we're going to put these wines in our casino if we like them. You don't have to. Like, they're going to send us away with bottles.
That was here.
Yeah. It was fucking, what's her face? The kook.
I'm trying to pair
Connie?
it together.
Yes, it was Connie.
Yeah, Connie. Mm-hmm. I sound like I'm down a hallway now.
Yeah, if you showed her the price list, it was automatic. The most expensive one was going to be the best one.
Well, that's because she could sell it for more. Isn't that what it usually was?
No, I just
Well,
don't
she
think- I
wasn't
don't think she
selling
had
it
a
at all.
palate.
She was from the nightclub. Like, she was
Yeah.
there because we had an extra spot.
Yeah.
Those wines, I mean, you're not selling red wine at a nightclub.
So she got lucky, is what you're saying.
And there's no high-end sparklers outside of Jay Schramm coming out of Napa, which is phenomenal. But, you figure out what that note is yet?
I'm trying to figure out that sweet note on the front. Because I get slight sweetness on the front of my palate wrapping around.
Is there a little anise in there? That's me.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's anise adjacent. I don't think it's anise.
But it's like in that same family.
It's the same wood note I'm picking up. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
I don't know what that is. Peat moss, maybe.
It does have a peat character to it.
Yeah. Must be. Maybe it's
It's
like
almost like the wood was a little green.
yeah, maybe it's like a Scottish oak.
Is that wood really green?
Sure.
It's on the. it's like a green banana note.
Yeah.
It's not banana. It's plantain.
Ah, plantain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the banana that always disappoints you because you're like, oh, it's cool colors.
It says Hungarian, Chickapin, and French oak barrels.
It's the chickapin.
Chickapin?
Yeah.
Where the fuck does chickapin come
I'm
from?
like, am I going to read this right or am I going to butcher it?
Yeah, there's a plant. It's the plantain note.
yeah. It's some kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like you made a caramel and brown sugar sauce, and then threw your plantains in them and fried them. The plantains were a little young though. That's what it.
Trying to remember what a plantain is now.
It's like a banana, but not a banana.
Oh, those
Oh,
bigger
dude, then
green
you go
ones
to
or the
this
smaller
Michter's
ones?
Toasted, and it's like banana runts. It's like candy,
I like banana runs.
like not savory at all, just candy.
Honestly, the banana runt is probably the best banana flavored candy. in
It
the world.
is, and they
Let's-
sell
It
it.
probably is, yeah.
Let's be fair.
They sell it by itself too.
You're fucking
in a
right,
bag.
they do, because that shit's delicious. That used to be the best part about runs.
You just pick those out first, and you're left with everything else. You're like, I guess I'll eat these.
They're
two."
not entirely dissimilar flavor profiles. It's just like they were at a different stage of development when they were ported.
Oh.
But you also got to remember that Michter's is $50 more a bottle than that Angel's Envy. 55.
Well, I think for $55 more, you get a more finished dessert taste.
Yeah, it's sweeter for
Yeah.
sure. The
Sweeter, less.
Angel's Envy has got a ton of like savory spice, not like traditional rye spice, but like a savory spice note. And the Michter's is like candy.
Yeah.
It only has that slight spice at the end. Not even that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's just it's overly sweet for my palate. I mean, I can see why a lot of people like it. It's not quite what I would want to be drinking.
But it's smooth.
And then we're going to the Garrison Brothers, which
It's just shit.
the one Garrison Brothers I had was terrible.
Shit.
But this one smells really good. Have you smelled this one?
No, I haven't smelled it.
Listen, we got to try it regardless.
We do.
We're not
The
here
nose
to
on this
drink
was
the best
was
stuff.
very good.
Life's too short to try shit whiskey.
Listen, you started with Fireball. I don't want to hear it.
Didn't start with Fireball.
Would you start with?
Jack Daniels.
Yeah, and we still go back to that, huh?
That was my first, like, whiskey.
Jameson.
See?
Except for my glass was. Basically, it took the whole bottle when I filled that glass, and then I was dumb enough to down it.
And then it was Crown Royal
Yeah, I've never had
because
Crown.
of Sean. That's all he had.
I think the first whiskey I ever had was Johnny Walker Black.
Oh, well. Sorry.
It's not even the fancy one, is it?
It's not fancy.
It's like the shelf
if
version.
if you look at, like, Jack Daniels, Jameson, and Johnny Walker Black, someone's going to go, Johnny Walker's pretty famous. Like, that's way more fancy than fucking Jack Daniels.
And then after that, I went on a wild turkey kick.
Oh, Wild Turkey is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really left that all that much.
Dude, this Garrison Brothers is not anywhere near as offensive as the last one I had.
Really?
Yeah.
You tried it already?
Yeah. It's far more a traditional bourbon with a little bit of that like Texas funk you get because it just gets hotter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's what, 94 proof is what it said?
Is that what that's?
No, hotter like
Yeah.
the temperature gets hotter.
Yeah, it gets warmer down there.
Yeah.
Is
So.
that aroma? Is that what that is? That's just bottled Texas air.
Yep.
Is that-
That's what it is.
right.
It's Texas heat, buddy.
Texas
Bottled Texas heat.
bottled Texas air.
How is there not a cinnamon whiskey from Texas called Texas Heat?
Well, you just gave somebody
Oh,
the idea if
man.
they watch this.
That would be genius. Texas heat.
Garrison Brothers might do it. Who knows? I saw a honey one, but
You
I'm
know-
not big on
Honeydew,
it.
don't do it.
I'm
You
not
know-
big
not
on
good.
honey.
It's not good.
You know what it would be though? Is it would be like a smoky cinnamon because it would have to have that like
No.
artificial smoke.
No, it would be mesquite cinnamon.
whatever that artificial shit is. It would just be smoky cinnamon. It'd kill people. Texas heat.
It would outsell that fucking Dickel Tabasco.
Anything could outsell that.
That's still on shelves. They can't get rid of it.
It's still the original release 3 years later.
I still think about buying that for Logan because I know he would drink it.
Like a gag gift.
It's not fair. With Logan, it's not even funny, though, because he would just drink it.
No, it would be funny as fuck. But I
The,
tried
the
it.
funny part would
Try
be
it.
every
So,
time he goes to it.
Christian, you missed our brief little thank God this is going to be over tomorrow rant, but I will let you get in with anything you would like to say politically. I am on the let's figure out who wins and what particular mess we have to clean up after the fact and, get on with it.
Me and Casey are on the odds. We want to know how much we could bet and who's going to win.
Yeah, I need some
You can
points.
bet as much as you want.
Okay, how much is a good idea to bet at this point?
I wouldn't bet this at all.
You lied to me.
I didn't lie to you.
That's terribly offensive.
Really?
That's gross.
It's not that
You
bad.
think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't mind it.
Go back to my Michters.
He just wants the super sweet one. I don't.
No, I don't. No, that's gross.
I feel like this is representing Texas particularly well.
And it's a nugget pick.
No. You can forget that one just like we forgot the Alamo. It's
I
fine.
would drink that. I would drink that. That's good.
You getting paid from somebody? Are you?
No.
Now,
We don't have enough followers to get paid.
now, I'm gonna tell you the price, and I don't think it's that good.
All right. What's the price?
150.
No, it was actually $94. I feel like it could come down to
No.
like 70.
Yeah,
mean-
but that's what barrel picks cost now.
Yeah,
Think
that's
about
true.
the barrel picks you're getting for $70. It's fuck. I mean, okay, the John J. Bowman, but that's rare. That's probably the best value for the money in the barrel pick world. Period.
All right, so Christian says, I don't think we'll know until Thursday, Friday. Iowa flipping could be a problem. Last betting market had Trump at 60.1%.
Iowa's not flipping. It's one poll. It didn't change anything.
She's still a disaster, is his last comment.
Iowa's not flipping. I don't think it means anything. I think it's just a bad poll. Sometimes you just get bad polls. I don't believe they pulled Iowa for months and got like a 10-point, like Trump's up by 10, and then the electorate magically changed in a week to her being up by 4. It's a bad poll. Here's the thing. Okay. Let's just talk about polling generally. Right? People talk about polls like the country's decision-making process has changed. Like they've come to a different result every time a new poll comes out. And that's not the case. More than likely what happens is what the country's going to do is already decided. It varies a little bit, right? A little bit here, a little bit there. We're talking about overall very small variations. The pollster's job is to pick out a representative sample of what that is, and they almost never do.
All right, Christian says, if Trump would just say and not say stupid shit, just run out the clock, he wins going away, but he can't help but dumbass self.
What
Yeah, there we
stupid
go.
shit did he say? I haven't heard anything.
I think he's just speaking in general. He can't keep himself from saying.
I mean, Christian,
shit.
if I absolutely had to bet it, like if I was forced to bet it, I would still be betting Trump. I don't think Iowa's changed. I don't think the numbers anywhere else have changed. Nevada feels a little bit closer than the Republican polls have it at and the early voting has it at. I think that's largely a function of just Republicans being more willing to early vote this year in Nevada, you know, as representative by some of the people I know here. But I think
I would too, but it shouldn't be close.
what's that? Who?
That's what he
shouldn't be
said.
close?
That's all he said.
The race.
I'm
probably?
guessing. Yeah, the polls or whatever it was.
I'm going to need you to be more specific. I need you to define it for me,
Give
please.
the man some time. He's got to.
Yeah, I know.
And it takes like 10 seconds for him to hear us.
But they're just trying to find data points that balance out and equal out to the right, like what the national line of thinking is going to be. It's not like every poll that comes out that's different was a change in the electorate. It was just a change in the sample. The electorate changed very little.
I would bet the same. I mean, also meant Trump should be leading easily.
Well, but he might be leading easily. You don't know. I don't think, like, they still have and they get it wrong. They call it the shy Trump voter, right? The Trump voter that doesn't want to talk to pollsters. And they think it's because they're afraid to talk to pollsters and express their opinion, which might be the case for some of them. But I think it's different than that. The truth is, the people that are going to vote for Trump hate pollsters. It's not that they're afraid to talk to him. It's that the pollsters are going to call him up and they're going to go, hello. And the pollster's going to be like, yes, I'm with, XY data survey and I would like to conduct a poll. And the person who answered the phone is going to say, go fuck yourself and hang up the phone.
Yeah, I usually just say nope and click.
Yeah.
I hear
It's-
you on the polls is what he's saying.
But it's not that that they're shy. They have a problem in that the people who are voting for Trump don't trust the media at all.
At
Fox,
this point, yeah.
CNN, MSNBC, take your pick.
Yeah. Gosh, I feel like there's a couple of West Wing episodes about polling.
There's a couple. Yeah, there is. But
I
they
mean,
just
you
don't
would
want to
know.
tell people how they're voting. So the question is, how many people that don't want to tell the world how they're voting are going to show up and vote?
But even
And I
then-
think with Trump in the race, the answer has always been more than you think by a substantial margin.
Well, yeah,
mean-
because most of the time they're scolded or people get all uppity about who you vote for.
Yeah,
So
it's-
why even say?
The Democrats have been acting like they won the culture war for years. I don't think either party's won the culture war. I think the Democrats are a disaster. I think the Republicans are a disaster. I think the Republicans need to get off the abortion bandwagon literally as quickly as possible. Like, just
Yeah.
get behind a 15-week constitutional amendment protection and then let the states go from there. But I also, like, the Democrats just lie outright. They lied about the tariffs being sales taxes. They will accept things as fact. They keep saying that Trump instituted an insurrection on January 6th, and he just didn't. The national abortion ban, which one, he can't sign. Two, the federal government, to my knowledge, doesn't have the authority to institute a national abortion ban.
Which is what I said to my grandma. I'm like, he can't do it. There's no way for them to do it. They pushed it out of the nation so it could go back down to the states, so it wasn't up there anymore.
Well, there's no federal authority for it. I mean, they're going to try and tag on some, like, for any equipment that passed through interstate commerce or something stupid, but that's ridiculous. Because other than that, they don't have there is no police power in the federal government. The police power resides with the states individually.
There's no abortion police.
No, there's no general welfare clause for the federal government. The general welfare and the police power both reside with the states. So how do you pass that law? Unless you pass a constitutional amendment, which again, 15 weeks, take it off the table, and let's talk about some things that really matter.
We'll just be done with it.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting here and arguing about,
Well, most of the country wants it, whether the religious right agrees with it or not. Most of the country wants it to 15 weeks. After 15 weeks, the popularity of any abortion tanks.
Yeah.
fair.
Because after that, then it's just a lifestyle.
Yeah, 15 weeks is also the global standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, listen, even if you think it is sacrificing a life, at the point where it's one or the other, probably going to be, the one that doesn't entirely exist yet. That's just the nature of existence. Well, I don't know. I want to talk about stuff like foreign policy and unwinding globalization and how we're going to reproduce a manufacturing economy in this country and how we're going to support Mexico, because we're going to need Mexico to do what China's doing now. Like, we need these things. I would rather talk about that, because otherwise we're going to have to make some really hard choices in about 5 years. Unless we want to go back to policing the global oceans, which I don't think we're going to do. How we're going to balance out energy production between green energy that helps our country in the right places while still stabilizing an oil production in this country, which we still have plenty of. How we're going to go back to nuclear, which, whether you like it or not, it's the cleanest form of energy production in existence right now, especially with the new reactors.
I mean, those reactors have been around for a while too, though. But
Not the the ones that they would build today,
Yeah.
far safer
then the,
and more efficient.
yeah, because they had one that they made that was safe and efficient, wouldn't melt down or anything, and then they got away from nuclear.
Yeah, because it got a bad rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
everyone
deservedly
hears-
so. 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima. Turns out we had some problems.
We've done some bad things.
But if it's done right, it's safer and cleaner than anything else out there.
and way more efficient.
So let's talk about these things. Let's stop demonizing the other side and get together and be like, how are we going to make this country survivable?
Because that's what we need to do to begin with. If China invades or gets aggressive with Taiwan, that changes the naval strategic
Paradigm.
Yeah.
It does not. It doesn't. First of all, the world would throw a tantrum, the likes of which we've never seen, if China invaded Taiwan. And they have massive problems, right? Like their Navy can't express power beyond about 600 miles, 400 miles if they don't go in a straight line. They import more energy and food than any nation in history. A single naval blockade, like 3 carrier groups, could shut off China from the world forever. There'd be a famine that would kill 500 million people in 8 months. Getting chip production would be the least of China's concerns.
Plus, we would just loan Taiwan some boats.
Yeah, and this is all before we take direct military action against China for Taiwan.
Yeah. We make 2 phone calls. We call Taiwan, say, hey, we may or may not have left some destroyers off the coast. They're yours. And then we call Japan, and we're like, hey, maybe it's time for you to get that Air Force up and running.
Yeah. We sent you a small shipment of F-22s.
Yeah. And
Use them wisely.
And an aircraft carrier. You're welcome. And then we just go, okay,
That's what I mean.
fuck
We would
around and find out.
have to start more aggressive policing the Pacific.
I don't know, but I don't know. Here's the problem: is that for shipping, you need a different Navy than we have today. We can police the Pacific for wars, but policing the Pacific shipping lanes is different. That takes a mountain of destroyers, and we just don't have that many anymore. We've got 80, I think. We used to have 800 or some silly ass number.
That's a hell of a silly ass number.
But we went to super carriers, which, great for taking over a country.
Sometimes you
You
have to.
don't think a super carrier group could take over a port?
I'm not talking about ports. I'm talking about ships on the open ocean.
Oh, fuck that. We just sink them.
You don't want to sink them. They're carrying goods.
Nah. If they're heading for China, sink them.
God help us if Casey ever has anything to do with foreign policy.
Listen, Mr. President is okay.
First of all, okay, you sink one ship full of supplies head to China.
And they'll learn.
I guarantee you, any other ships thinking about trying to run that blockade are not going to do that.
So you're
Oh,
setting
dude,
example.
if we put a couple of fucking carrier groups in the Taiwan Strait, they're not, like, no one's going anywhere near that shit.
Yeah, exactly. But if one gets squirrely, sink that motherfucker.
Like, we are the global undefeated champion at fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten good at it.
Plus, we also waste a lot of things anyway, so we'd have no problem sinking a fucking ship full of supplies just to look at someone and be like, sucks, doesn't it?
Hey, it wasn't ours, so why does it matter?
It wasn't for us. We don't give a shit. Just saying. It'd be funny.
Anyway.
Plus, then I would
Yeah,
just
like
carpet bomb
I'm
ports.
still betting on Trump tomorrow. I think the most recent polls that came out were polls that people put out to balance out their predictions because they're afraid of being too wrong. Now, I don't know. The Roe thing could be real. We could see this massive surge of voting like we did in 22 in special elections, all in protections of abortions and women's rights. And
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, the biggest concern is the uneducated, just voting off the feels.
Yeah, but
They don't take the time to like understand what's going on.
the uneducated are voting for the Trump feels.
Some of them are,
Most of them.
but some of them are also going to be like, "Wow,
Have you seen the voter breakdowns?
no, is it bad?"
Yeah, the uneducated are voting for Trump.
Oh, well, then we're fine.
The college educated are voting for Harris in mass, which
That's a scary thought. What are they teaching at these schools?
they're not teaching, they're indoctrinating.
Yeah. Wait, you went to school? How was it there?
Twice. I went to an ag school, and then when I went back the second time, I went to a law school in the Central Valley. And the law school in the Central Valley, very noticeable presence of the hard left. But I went back older, and they had no ability to argue with me about anything, ever.
Because you already knew what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, because they said
Dumb
stuff
shit.
that didn't make sense. Some of them didn't. Some of them were very bright. On both sides, some of them were very bright. Most of them would say things like, well, when you can go into any gun shop in Nevada and buy a machine gun, what did you think was going to happen? I'm
I
like,
wish.
You
Facts.
can't do that.
Facts.
That argument got shut down pretty fast.
Don't ruin the nostalgia of Nevada for people. Let them believe these things.
Because my response, after about going back and forth about 3 or 4 times, because she's like, yeah, you can. I'm like, no, the process for buying a machine gun is intense. The federal background check takes 8 to 10 months. It's got to be built before 1986. Like, they're hard to find. Oh, and it's going to cost you about $30,000. They're not cheap. And then she's like, wow, baby. I'm like, nope, not true. Again, nope, not true. And she's like, well, have you looked? Have you researched this? Yes. If that shop existed in Nevada, I would shop there.
You probably own it.
Yeah.
Facts.
If there was a place I could walk in and buy a fully automatic weapon, you don't think I would have done that already?
No, instead you gotta go on the streets of LA and find some
Well, listen,
unsavory characters.
It's far easier to buy a fully automatic AK from the cartel in Mexico than it is to buy it in this country.
You don't want to
wanna go to
buy
Mexico?
AKs from Mexico. Come
No,
on.
because they're the crappy ones.
Yeah, they're the crappy ones.
Yeah, but if you buy them, then you sell them, and then you make extra.
Honestly, if you really want fully automatic AKs, right? It's a plane ticket to Poland, a train ride to Ukraine, volunteer for a couple of days, you get one for free, and then you bring it back. Just saying.
Where's this going? Some random port in Texas. I know some guys.
All right, break it down for parts, ship it back to yourself. It'll be okay.
Make some calls.
And then you can be like, yeah, no, I did my civil service for Ukraine. It's fine. I earned that fucking gun.
I don't know. So, Casey,
Yes.
can anyone beat Max Verstappen now?
So you watched the race, I take it.
I saw the points. I saw highlights.
So how'd it go?
Well, okay. Let's emphasize with this might have been the goofiest fucking race I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, the highlights I saw, like there were spots where you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
how is that race still going on?
So these guys got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get to the racetrack to do qualifying, which on itself was a fucking disaster because it was just stupid. Then we get to the race, okay? And the race starts off with, all right, we're going to do a formation lap. Off turn 4, one of the Haas's goes off the track.
On the formation lap?
On the
I
formation.
didn't see that.
Yes, on the formation lap, goes off the track. Oh no, sorry, it was Lance Stroll.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that
last-
makes a
yeah.
little bit more sense.
He beached his car, so they abort the start. Aborting the start means nobody goes anywhere; they just sit on the track. Lando Norris took that as, oh, I guess we're doing another formation lap, so he takes off. And then like half the field goes, wait, are we going again? Are we not going again? What's going on here? And then they're like, I guess we're doing a formation lap again. So they do another formation lap where half the teams are now like, what the fuck? He went without a green light. Like he broke the rules. Because, you know, if you're vying for competition, you're going to get yelled at for doing stupid shit. So they do the second formation lap. They come around. And then they're like, oh, that Aston Martin is still off turn 4. It's not going anywhere because we need a truck. So guess what? Now we need to start again. Like a real start. Okay. Everyone gets to come back out, put the cars on jacks, blah, 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 stand around for 10 minutes while we wait for this fucking Aston Martin. All right, we're waiting. We're waiting. And then they're like, the stewards are all, okay, there's going to be an investigation at some point about Lando Norris. And you're like, oh, God, holy shit. So Stroll out of the race. Alex Albon pulled out of the race because his car was shit anyway. And he just couldn't compete. So he was already out. So there's 2 cars already out of this fucking race. And you're like, all right, cool. Here we go. Let's start the race. Now, mind you, Lando Norris is in second position. Max Verstappen is in 17th. So you're like, all Lando has to do is not do stupid shit and just pray that Max isn't going to be Max. 2 laps in, Max is in 11th place. And gaining hard. Then most of it just is people doing stupid shit because their intermediates are turning into slicks and they don't want to pit. So then they go off the track, and then there's some yellow flags, and there's some crashes, and then there's a red flag. After Max already had new tires, so he didn't have to do anything. But Lando lost positions because he pitted right at the end of a virtual safety car, and he got shafted. So he's like fourth, and Max is in second. And you're like, okay, well, I guess Max is going to win. Sure as shit. Max gets in front, and he wins. You know who the top three were? Max Verstappen, Esteban Ocon, and Pierre Gasly.
Wait, hold on. I did see that. How did the Alpines get into that position and stay there?
I have no fucking idea. I watched the whole race, and I still don't know how the Alpines managed to get in front and then be like, we are dominantly French. We are going to be fine. Yeah.
I saw the podium and I was like, wait, no, those guys don't belong on the podium. How did that happen?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. Pretty much. Yeah, you know what? On the racetrack, you cannot probably beat Max Verstappen. So I would just beat him with a stick while he slept. Many times.
Christian
over.
says Max Verstappen is almost as good as Cole Trickle in Days of
You shut
Thunder.
your fucking whore mouth. How dare you? How dare you? Don't sully the name of Days of Thunder by putting Max Verstappen in that category.
Maybe I should have read that.
Fucking, it's bullshit.
Cole Trickle.
I bet that pissed you off entirely watching that.
I was impressed. Like, I was like, wow, I've never seen a more disastrous, like, group of decisions. Maybe they got the Ferrari, like, strategists for McLaren now, because I'm like, there's no way you could fuck off this bad.
But they did.
And they did. They really did. Like, because there was a time, because the rain kept coming in. So it was like, oh, it's not raining anymore. And then it was like, oh, I can't see 5 feet in front of the car.
Yeah, those are the highlights I saw.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, at one point there was a safety car specifically just because the rain. Like, we don't want to stop the race, but it's pretty dangerous at this moment to race. So we're just going to drive around under the safety car.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool. This is fun. And then the rain disappeared again because it was just this intermittent, like, oh, it's really bad for 5 minutes. Now it's gone. Oh, it's bad for 5 minutes. Now it's gone. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
They didn't bother canceling the race.
No, they let the race happen.
They didn't even
somehow.
think about it.
It takes a lot to cancel a race. Like, even last year at Japan, that they had a monsoon going, and they were still like, we could probably drive some of these laps for at least half points. Takes a lot to cancel a race.
I mean, I think if it had been a constant rain in the rain that I saw,
Yeah. Well, if it had been the rain the day before when they canceled qualifying,
yeah.
then I think the race would have not gone on.
I mean, I saw one guy go through a corner, like around a corner in a low spot, and it looked like he was driving through 4 or 5 inches of water.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not standing water. That's a puddle.
Well, if there's one thing you can count on is it's going to probably rain in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because that is like the rain track.
Well, at least they don't have a track in Scotland
No.
or Ireland.
No.
Those would both be horrible
not
places.
as rainy as Brazil.
No?
No, probably not. Because when it comes down in Brazil, it comes down. Like Scotland, it would just be drizzle the whole time.
Fair.
Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, this sucks.
Anyway, there's 3 races left.
Yes, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia.
So Las Vegas is the next one then.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Do you think they fixed the issues from last year?
Fuck no.
Some of them.
It's gonna be amazing.
I want to see that manhole cover fly up again.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that we're going to avoid a lot.
That was an expensive fix.
I guarantee you every single one of those manhole covers is now thoroughly welded to the holder. Like those are not coming out. God forbid they need to get into them because
God, that Michter's Toasted is just so sweet.
If you put Verstappen on an Andretti Racing go-kart park, I could beat him. That's what Christian said. He could beat him.
Yeah, in the parking lot before he got on the car.
Nah,
With a
let's,
couple of big burly blokes.
nah. You just need to put him in a wall. Isn't
No.
that what you always hope for? Take him out. Come on, somebody take him out.
There was 16 other people in front of him that were clearly vying for jobs that could have easily been like, let's make this race a lot more interesting. Oops, it was rainy. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry I hit you.
He said,
oh,
"Lol,
darn."
just kidding." I'm glad I didn't watch that race.
It was
I wasn't gonna watch. It was 7:30 in the morning.
no, actually it was delayed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was delayed an hour. So it was actually 8:30 in the morning.
So you had to stay up extra late just for it.
Oh, I totally could have watched it
Yeah,
then.
you probably could have. You could have caught the other parts too, because the red flag came in and
Yeah.
knocked it off for 20 minutes, and you could have caught the good parts for sure.
Casey, when I give it a minute and I drink that Garrison, I get that off note that you're getting that puts you off, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, that Texas air,
Yeah, the Texas air is good.
it's not good.
Yeah, it is.
It's gross.
Nah,
That's gross.
nah.
I don't. I just drank some too, but I haven't gotten it.
Yeah, it's like a weird note on the palate, and it's usually I get it in the center back on the palate.
Okay.
I still like it though. I'm still gonna drink it.
Over
I would still
over
drink
the
it.
Angel's Envy.
Yes.
That's
I
the
do
kind
like-
of whiskey I would try making a old fashioned with.
Okay.
Which one?
The Garrison Brothers.
Really?
I do like the Michter's too. It's
Dude.
a little too sweet though. Still.
You can't. The Michter's is so sweet. You can't make a cocktail with it.
No.
You'd have to dilute it.
You could make a highball with it.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the only thing it'd be good for.
Yeah, it would cut it too far.
You
So,
think?
what's the drink called where you take whiskey, add ice, and then dilute it with water? Like there was a lot of water diluted in this one that I saw. Like they took a small bottle and poured 3/4 of that bottle in the glass of whiskey. He called it something, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, that
Was
is
it-
wasteful.
Was that water or soda water?
It was actual water, bottled water.
I don't know.
It was at an event that I went. Oh yeah, the fishing derby got nominated for nonprofit of the year for our county,
Oh, okay.
and we took that one. So it was nice.
Compared to what?
Other nonprofits in the area.
Such as?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
You gotta know who your competition is, man.
Don't need to if I'm beating them without knowing them.
Yeah, you should know who they are.
Nah, if I don't know them, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, me and Lane are gonna go find out who they are and help them beat you next year.
That's messed up. You should.
Hey, Christian, we're doing hats. You want us to send you one? And P.S. What kind of hats do you like?
I thought we asked him, or was that?
Oh, he wants the cloth clasp. Huh?
Yeah.
Cowboy.
He wants the dad hat.
Cowboy.
Cowboy hat.
We don't have cowboy hats.
Right. But we'll get some drill sergeants.
Also,
that want
I
some
would
Brown
never
and Browns.
logo a cowboy hat. That's just stupid
What? Why not?
because it's dumb.
Come on.
That hat doesn't need a logo.
But it would be cool
It's-
if it had one.
It's its own
Somewhere,
logo.
somewhere underneath it needs to say Stetson.
I miss my Stetson. I don't know what happened when I moved
they
from the
make that-
army. It disappeared.
Do they make that flat style one, Stetson, or is it all?
They
just-
make almost every style of Stetson.
Get some drill sergeants. We get them around and brown with it.
No, I thoroughly am convinced that if Lane was ever going to wear a cowboy hat, it's got to be the one from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fucking the one that Angel Eyes wears. Just that flat brim, lower on the top there. I think that's your style.
Oh, like the Mexican outlaw style?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's your style.
I don't know. I've never put one on my head.
No, I do one flex fit baseball hat, not adjustable or trucker.
Cool. Do you want low profile or mid profile if it's a trucker?
No.
Also, same question for flex fit because I think we have low pro or mid pro and high pro coming with both.
Lane likes the high profile.
I do.
Gives him that extra air. Goes across his head. Keeps his head cool while his processor is running. That CPU's going.
Yeah. Listen, you got to take care of the parts, man.
Low profile for both.
Mid. Is mid acceptable? I didn't order any low. They don't even think they have low. They have mid and high.
I have a big head, is what he said. Why would you want a low then?
I don't know.
I figured low profiles for small heads.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we're gonna do some leather patches. We're
Mid
gonna
is
put them on the
fine.
hats.
Mid is fine.
Cool.
Yeah, we're figuring out how to do the leather patches right now.
And then if
in-house.
Joe ever sends me a sample, I'm gonna get some proper golf hats. We're gonna do some Travis Matthew Flex Fit golf hats, like the super breathable ones.
And possibly some tie-dye ones.
But we don't have the supplier that we got the hats from didn't have anything like that.
Listen, I thought you wanted that tie-dye bucket hat. The pink tie-dye bucket hat.
Oh no, we agreed on the floral ones for our golf team.
Oh, yeah,
In SpongeBob yellow.
Listen, me and James are wearing proper hats. You and LeRon can wear whatever you want.
It's fine.
Winning team gets the floral hat.
We'll win and look fabulous. It's a twofer.
You keep saying this.
I have to compliment your manufacturer on the coins. That thing is really slick and good quality.
Yeah, I was really happy with how those coins turned out. We're gonna do a copper one, and then we're gonna do a bigger painted one. But I was really happy with those. Those showed up, and I was impressed immediately.
They are super cool.
The next ones will have the shop logo rather than the podcast logo.
Yeah, and then we'll do a poker chip set.
Sure.
Why not?
I don't know. We don't play poker in here.
We could if we had a poker chip
We
set.
could not.
Well,
The casino would run us off.
Yes.
no one knows we're here.
Listen, we just need to build a speakeasy room. There's a whole section back there that might work.
We get that fucking electronic cover shit, and then we're fine. Yeah.
Instantly.
If
too.
Michelle walked by and saw that, she would flip out.
You just look at her and hit the button.
Yeah.
Ah, perfect. Did you guys have anything else going on?
No, I'm just doing the work thing, man. That web app's almost ready to go. I
That's
did have
good.
my little Stripe problem.
They fixed it?
Speakeasy in the office.
Sean fixed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they're recoding it differently per Sean.
So it doesn't.
So they don't ever get my API keys again. Like, that's not a mistake I'm going to make a second time.
I was
Chris-
talking to Sean. He was like, I don't know who these people are.
But don't
I was
trust
like,
them.
did you send him that coding book yet? He's like, no, I fucking have to send them like a children's coding book.
Yeah. He's not impressed.
Nah,
But on
he-
some level, right, it's the same thing that I said to James. He's like, why didn't you, reach out to get somebody that could properly code this? I'm like, what? Hold on.
No.
Hold, please.
Hold, you goddamn know well.
Yeah.
Fucking jackwagon.
Yes. I gave both of you the chance to participate.
Or help.
Yeah.
Or
But-
point me in the right direction of people.
well, they're helping now. Well, one of them is now that they've seen what happened.
Oh, didn't James help you with security?
Not yet.
Oh, because it's not there yet.
No, it's probably there for that.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that's gone wrong, so everything else looks pretty good.
Cool.
They're They didn't give me enough issues and sub issues in the
they
test
They
construction.
kept you at 4
So they're changing that
to 8.
tonight. It's going to go to 10 and 10.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So it gives the professors plenty of leeway to do whatever. 10 there might be some situations where you need 12. I'll let the professors figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like,
Group a couple together.
yeah, something. I feel like 10's plenty. Other than that, it looks pretty good. They fixed all the minor little like stupid shit where like boxes were coming off half off the page and you couldn't close them because the page didn't realize that there was content off the page, so you couldn't slide over and like.
Oh, yeah. It's like, what? You can't see it? It's over here?
Yeah. But I built a couple of exams as samples. I've sent it out to some people. I just haven't done any, like the subscriptions haven't gone live yet because, I had that problem. So there was I mostly right about Sean's his reaction?
Yeah, we were talking. I was like, that's hilarious. He's like, there was some stuff in there. I don't even know what the fuck it was doing in there. He's like, I don't fucking know what this shit is. He's like, there's like fucking code places to go different. It's like, it's clearly just been like borrowed from someone else that they built off of. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
He's like, there's shit in there. I'm just like, let's just get rid of that. What are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing?
Well, at least he was able to fix it.
I mean, so the payment process will be secure at this point because it won't be ours. It's entirely using Stripe's payment flow now. So it's just Stripe's system embedded on our page, but we don't have anything to do with it. So they don't get my API keys. They're just importing the interface,
Perfect.
basically.
That's perfect.
And they don't now I can isolate all of that shit basically between me and Sean. And then if I ever get a full-blown company with in-house developers, they'll work on that stuff.
Perfect.
But for now, it costs me a little bit more, but
still,
it's worth it.
Worth the security aspect of it.
Yeah.
And the headache.
I still don't know. I'm still waiting for Stripe's decision on my final appeal.
Is there another company you can go with if it doesn't work out?
Yeah, I have options, or I could stand up a different LLC and open some other bank accounts. I could do some stuff around it with the new procedures, which I'm pretty happy with. They're just takes time and it's a pain in the ass.
That's fair.
When does that process usually come in?
Which process?
The one that he fixed? Is it towards the beginning or for your API and all that? And them not getting the codes, or when they're running the checks on cards?
I don't know that I understand.
I don't know if I'm asking it right.
I don't know what you're asking.
Oh,
Well, the whole issue you had that's built in.
So they were coding an in-house. So we would take the credit card information, and it would be tokenized and then sent off to Stripe to be processed
Okay.
because that's the cheapest way to do it. That's costing you at 1.9% or something. For an extra 3%, which, so now I'm losing 5% of my gross. It's better than nothing. I'm okay with that to build it and get it to a point where then am making money and can move on to a different process. But now, instead of us doing anything in-house, all they're doing is taking Stripe's interface and embedding their full interface in the website.
Okay.
So Stripe is the company taking the credit card information. It never gets processed through my page at all.
Okay.
None of my equipment is seeing the credit card information, storing the credit card information, converting it. None of my equipment is dealing with any of that. It's just, it would be like if there was a sportsbook kiosk in here to bet sports. We host the kiosk, but we don't have anything to do with it.
Got it. Because my thought was that the token setup on how it was getting done is something that you would think of ahead of time as the first part of the program's getting built. And then all that information gets processed probably towards when they purchase the subscription.
No, not really. You're going to build the front end of that. You're going to code the front, the user interface for that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to code the back end of that until pretty far along.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that you'd be able to see ahead of time.
No.
Got it.
And it wasn't going through my page. It wasn't the upshot is it wasn't getting processed through my page at all. It had nothing to do with the coding on my page. Someone in their office, wherever their office is, leaked the API key more than likely. Or left it in the open and someone found it.
So one of them's a mook.
And then someone took it and they were running it somewhere else probably to try and verify stolen credit cards, to see if they could use them. So they're running a small transaction to see if it's still active. And it is, they're going to immediately take that credit card and go buy $5,000 worth of garbage somewhere.
Okay.
Now, all of the transactions were blocked. None of them went through. But Stripe was like, yeah, so you're not fixing this, so we're just going to turn it off.
Yeah, you have a leak,
Yeah.
and boom.
Well, I'm glad at least they turned it off and let you know sooner rather than later.
Yeah, listen, I'm glad none of that shit went through. But it's annoying that my programmers were off for 4 days. They let it sit from Wednesday to Sunday when I was like, you guys need to take a look at this. Then at the same time, I was like, I don't think they're going to. So I reached out to Sean. I was like, hey, help. Well, it's funny because initially he's like, well, it could be that the business name and the web page name are different. They're afraid of like chargebacks. And then somewhere in the conversation, I was like, oh, I mean, I think they're probably thinking that I'm laundering money. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, they've blocked like 13,000 transactions. And his response was, they did what now? Yeah.
13,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I actually realized after I said mook where you got that from.
What's that?
Because you say say you're a mook every once in a while, or I've heard you say mook.
No. I say jamoke.
Jamoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamoke.
Okay, I don't know why I kept thinking mook. Because
Kook. I say kook all the time.
maybe I mashed everything together.
I'm pretty sure that's what you did.
Well, no,
Because
because
you're a jabroni.
where does mook come from? Do you know? You should.
The Italians?
No, you were a 90s kid. You watched Lion King.
Sure.
That's Timon calling Pumbaa mook constantly.
Okay.
I figured that's what he was saying. That's what got clipped in my head.
Oh.
Yeah, when I look at Lane, I don't think, consummate Lion King watcher.
I do.
I don't think
I see it.
consummate's the right word there. I think avid is the word you're looking for.
Either way. Is that one of your faves? You're just throwing it on all the time? You just Disney movies it up? You're not telling anybody?
Yeah, totally.
I knew
Listen,
it.
he was a Disney kid. You heard it. Mom and
I
Dad
feel,
worked at
I
Disney.
feel like you've been over Disneyfied.
Probably. I mean, I've seen The Lion King.
Yeah.
When it came out. Like,
Oh, yeah. Everybody has. You were what, like 12 when it came out?
Sure. I don't know.
It was the early 90s. I know that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
1992.
So, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What?
Like, and it gets quiet. There it is.
Yes.
Being accused of being Disneyfied.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
So, Christian thinks we're going to know Thursday or Friday. I think we're going to know tomorrow night.
You think it's going to go that smoothly?
I think that they have to.
Otherwise,
I
there's
don't.
going to
I
be
don't.
more of a...
If there's one thing you don't want, it's a fucking repeat of last time, where there's this waiting in the wind bullshit.
I mean, we might not know until the next morning. I think we're going to know tomorrow night.
I think tomorrow night or the next morning should be fine, but if it gets pushed off any longer than that, it can cause anxiety amongst the people.
Listen, if I think it's close, if it's close, I think it's Trump. And I think we're going to know.
Yeah, I think,
On the off chance, there also, if it's a landslide, it could also be Trump, and we'll know. I think if Harris wins, it's going to be because she has outperformed the polls enough that we'll also know tomorrow night. I don't think a Harris victory gets carried into the next morning.
You don't think they'd let that happen, yeah?
I think that's the way it'll go. I mean, I don't listen. Who knows? It's such a crapshoot.
Christian finds the over Disneyfied comment hilarious.
who was that?
I have no idea.
No idea. That don't work
Christian,
here.
I don't know that I've told you this. My parents actually met working at Disneyland.
What do you guys think of all the celebrity endorsements and Saturday Night Live appearance that come out at the last minute kind of BS?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care that much. I don't think they're convincing anybody.
I don't think we watch a late night show either, really.
I mean, I think it's what we should have expected. Like, just reading the headlines from traditional media, they're obviously framing this like everything is about Harris being reasonable and gritty and a hard worker, and everything's about Trump is him being, loud and boisterous and out of pocket. Like even the headlines are framed like Harris is the better option. There was always going to be a media kick in traditional media for Harris.
Well, and I think that's why Trump was smart doing the Joe Rogan thing.
Well, a massive podcast. Well, it was Trump and then Vance, and then last night it was Elon.
Yeah.
So like Trump is making a hard podcast push,
Yeah.
and Harris is making a hard social media push.
And I think the Joe Rogan Trump episode is at like 45 million views.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like, even if you didn't watch the whole thing, that's a lot of people that have somewhat clicked on it to be like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
They just want to see what's going on. Yeah.
Well, I also, so there's been like 70 million early votes cast as of last night, last night. That's almost half of the total turnout. That's unheard of.
So maybe a lot of people, more people are going to vote this year.
I don't know. We might just get depressed turnout on election day.
Fair.
I mean,
Which
it's possible, but
I think the last poll to close is Alaska at 1 a.m. and midnight for Hawaii.
what's that town?
We're 10 p.m.
Oh,
What's the town?
it's
Hartford-
Landing.
Hartford's Landing, yeah. When do they vote?
they vote at 9:00 tonight.
Perfect. We need to know what the results are for Hartford's Landing.
9:00 tonight, our time. Yeah, they voted at 12:00. They've already voted. They voted an hour and 10 minutes ago.
Oh, nice.
Are you gonna look it up? Oh no, I thought you were pulling
No,
your phone.
he getting his bougie lighter out.
I also
flame.
think like the Democrats. Here's the other problem with it. I don't know how common this is, right? So I will tell you guys how I voted to make this point. I don't know how common this is, but I think if it happens at all, it's going to hurt the Democrats because I voted for Trump. I also voted for the state constitutional amendment to protect abortion, and that's something right now the Democrats just can't fathom. They assume if you're voting for abortion rights, you're voting for Harris. And I voted for abortion rights in Nevada, and I voted for Trump
Same.
because Harris is a disaster.
I think we all did that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's because one of them is clearly a state issue and one of them is a national issue.
Even if it's a federal, I have no problem with a federal constitutional amendment to protect abortion to 15 weeks. None whatsoever. If only because I'm just tired of talking about it.
How does that get through, though? Does someone just have to bring it up?
Yeah, they'd have to pass it. So it'd either be a constitutional convention, which we haven't had in a long time, or 2/3 of the Senate, 2/3 of the House, and 3/4 of the states to ratify.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 3/4.
Are you looking that up?
No.
It's been a long time since I've looked up the mechanics of passing a constitutional amendment.
What, like 5-6 years now?
Yeah, probably. Well, you don't really go over that. You go over constitutional analysis. You don't go over passing legislation
No,
in law school.
I thought you did. I thought you went over all of it.
No, not really. You mostly just go over how to analyze legal tests because that's not a legal process. That's a political process. It has nothing to do with law school.
Okay, because
There is one question about constitutional conventions that hasn't been tested yet. The question is, if a constitutional convention is called for a specific purpose, may they then discuss and talk about anything thereafter? That's going to be a legal question. It's never been tested. I don't know what the answer is. I've never read any of the relevant case law.
Okay, how would it be tested if that were to happen? Or
They would do it, and it would get challenged in court.
okay,
The reason it's never been tested is because it's so uncommon.
got it. We're at 1:15.
Yeah. Casey's burying his phone. I don't know what he's looking at.
I was looking to see if I could find the Hartsfield Landing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it probably won't be for another hour or two, right? Or do they get those instantly? Or
That's
It's instantly, they call it out publicly.
yeah, because
Okay.
in the West Wing episode, I think it's what 18 people or something that vote. Or
No. It's 60 something.
okay, yeah, that's right.
It's probably bigger now.
Yeah,
They might not even do it anymore.
I don't know.
That's 20 years ago.
That's true. But the joke was that however they voted, was pretty much how the nation was going to vote,
really?
and like you could tell basically like what the election results were going to be just based off this one place. Oh.
That's interesting.
It's a pretty good episode, actually. Now that I think about it.
So what you're saying is we're probably gonna watch it here soon.
It's a good episode. I mean, it's within the first 5 seasons. I think it's like season 3.
Oh, it's not actually called Hartsfield Landing. It's called Dixville Notch Midnight Vote.
Oh,
I'm such a child.
Dixville.
Oh no, that's even smaller. That's 3 votes each.
Oh.
They tied. 3 votes each.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny. So wait, only 6 people came to vote?
There's only 6 people to vote, apparently.
Oh wow.
They all voted.
I thought there were more people in Alaska.
This is in
It's not
Alaska.
Alaska.
Oh,
It's in New Hampshire?
New Hampshire?
Yes. A tiny township of
Yeah.
Dixville Notch.
Yeah, they vote like right at midnight, basically.
So it's gonna
And
be
they just get it done and over with. But like the thing is, like, apparently that's how it's supposed to be. So apparently what we know now is it's 50-50.
it's gonna be a coin
Yeah.
toss.
So it's
It is, in fact.
It's going to actually come down to the wire.
All right. So what's that? Put the odds at now.
I don't know. I would still vote, or I would still bet on Trump if I,
Yeah, I
had
still,
to put money
I
on
think
it.
if you're going to the sports book tomorrow, it's Trump.
I think there's going to be split ticket on the abortion versus who's president.
Okay.
I mean, this is one of the things that Trump has said many, many times is that he wouldn't sign a national abortion ban.
I mean, there's why would we do that? We just got it out of the nation to begin with, and it wasn't even a ban. It
Because
was
there's a handful of squirrely Republicans that are super religious and they just keep pushing the issue. And someone needs to go tell them to shut the fuck up.
And yeah.
I just don't feel like it's a religious issue at this
Someone,
point.
much like in F1, someone needs to beat them up, like tune them up in the parking lot
Yeah.
before the event.
Invite them to Capitol Hill, jump them in the parking lot
Yeah.
with pork bellies.
You're gonna lose this, or we'll be coming back around.
Oranges in a sock. I'm just
Hey, is Christmas Eve on a Tuesday?
Christmas is on Tuesday, isn't it?
Is it? So it's a Monday.
What?
So we're going to skip this?
On Christmas Eve?
Or New
Yeah.
Year's Eve?
It's New Year's Eve is a Monday, and then New Year's Eve is Tuesday, and so is
Okay, so we're the
Christmas.
day before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're the day before on both of those because Monday is the 23rd and Monday is the
We're going to have
30th.
to figure that out. You got family shit you got to do.
Maybe I don't know.
Depends.
My mom keeps telling me she's gonna be out of town
Okay.
right
Oh, yeah?
now.
Where's your mom going?
I don't know.
Party?
Vegas,
Party?
probably Vegas. That's what her usual game plan is. Going to Vegas.
The Grand Tetons?
Yeah. And then this next weekend, my son's birthday, we're taking him to Vallejo for Six Flags again because might as well.
Okay.
And
You're
then,
going back to Six Flags?
yeah, I mean, this time it won't be Fright Fest or whatever it is, but we'll just take them. Hopefully they don't screw up anymore and get more trouble. That way I can take them. Because I figured might as well create more memories instead of getting him stuff at this point. He's at that age where he doesn't really need things all that much.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's more of memories. Memories that are better than what I have.
I like that
And
idea.
then
That's a good idea.
My mom was going to go, but some of our uncles passed away. So she's going to the funerals.
Are they trying to go to the buffet?
Yes.
That's been closed forever.
Yeah, but it's still very interesting.
People are like, it closed during COVID. I'm like, it closed way before COVID.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
It closed like 4 or 5 years before COVID.
Yeah. Turns out it's just a bad idea.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember the last time it was open. It's been so long.
I bought my house and I think it was closed. And that was 2016, February.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then they did like small events.
I
in
think
there.
they were still running the Sunday brunch in 16.
They might have been, yeah. They weren't open.
Yeah, there
open,
was
though.
like
Yeah.
a 1 day a week thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Then it was early on. They had no more late night stuff.
Yeah, buffets are going out of style, man.
It's because they lose money.
A lot of money. That Vegas buffet though, it was what when I was in the Army, it was $50 a head when you went in there.
Last time I was in Vegas for a buffet, we ate at the Sahara one. It was like $30 a head, which it wasn't bad.
I wonder if I went to the bougie one then.
I mean, $50 sounds pretty standard. I think it's like 65 at the Atlantis.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That
I think
is-
that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we were losing at Fandango. We were losing $1.5 million a year just in the buffet.
Really?
Wow.
But they're so
We-
good.
All right, Christian, we're gonna check out, do some reviews. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate that bottle. That's for $70 for a double oak. That's pretty good. I'm gonna put it up against that Old Forester and see what happens.
That was triple oak.
Triple oak, but
Yeah.
double oak is the standard like pricing model.
Oh, okay.
So if it's triple oak, you think it would have gone for more?
No, that's triple oak.
That is triple oak.
Okay.
But most of like what it's going against is double oaks.
Got it.
Like that's the market.
How often do
niche
triple
that it
oaks get
fills.
done?
That's the first one I've ever seen.
Oh.
Well, that's not true. That's the first commercial one I've ever seen. Like there's some small boutique places that are doing some like double finishes, but that's going to be a shelf product for them. Like it's going to be available all the time. I think,
Oh, nice.
Okay.
like the Old Forester 1910.
So we're going to start seeing more triple oaks. you
Yes.
think?
At some point they'll make it into the market.
Okay.
I don't know why we're so far behind everywhere else in the country, but
Because it's Nevada. That's what we do.
well, it's California too. I haven't seen it in California anywhere.
Oh,
I haven't seen it shown up at the Total Wines in California, which will probably be the first place you'll see it.
So we need
Folsom.
to make that road trip to Daveco.
All right, Christian. Hey, anybody that's made it this far, do YouTube things. Appreciate you watching. And Christian, I'll talk to you on the other side of this nonsense.